census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Number 10, It Follows.
You can get rid of it, okay? Just sleep with someone as soon as you can. Just pass it along.
The analogy of sexually transmitted diseases is part of the reason It Follows felt so fresh back when it was released in 2014. Writer-director David Robert Mitchell may not have completely explained the rules for why the entity follows the way it does or how it can be destroyed. Yet it's more about the journey than the destination here. It Follows plays with our paranoia as we constantly scan the background for who's on the horizon. The performances and the characters' general likability get us invested in the story, while the soundtrack keeps us on edge. This one is destined to become a modern horror classic.
See? Everything's okay.
Number 9, Get Out.
He's dating my sister. You had your chance. I can't get to know the guy.
The trope of the body snatcher was nothing new in the horror genre by the time Jordan Peele created Get Out. Yet his film managed to inject new life into this narrative through the exploration of class and race. Get Out also subtly incorporates humor throughout the story, but make no mistake, the film is full of uneasy frights. The existential horror of the sunken place in particular gives us nightmares. Peele's script is smart, taut, and tense, and the subtle Easter eggs hidden throughout the film make it eminently rewatchable.
Why us? Huh? Why black people?
Number 8, The Strangers.
Are you a sinner? Sometimes.
There's just something primal about horror films that are set in those situations where we're most vulnerable. It could be Psycho in the shower or Jaws in the open water, but they make our skin crawl. The Strangers strikes a similar nerve, that fear of our homes being invaded when we're all alone. Of course, it helps that the cinematography here underlines just how frightening that situation can be, as the titular strangers lurk in the shadows. This film is violent, sure, but it's also scary as hell, and isn't afraid to let moments linger for the sole purpose of making us look twice into the darkness.
Why are you doing this to us? Because you were home.
Number 7, The Silence of the Lambs. This movie is one of only a handful of horror films to ever make a serious impact at the Academy Awards. Its handling of themes such as gender identity have made it the subject of much retrospective criticism. But it's not Buffalo Bill's motivations that make this film so terrifying.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
At its heart, The Silence of the Lambs is a story about the abduction and murder of female victims, crimes that feel all too real and terrifying.
Now he places the lotion in the basket.
Please. Please.
Jodie Foster's performance as FBI trainee Clarice Starling was career-defining. And who can ever forget the way Anthony Hopkins inhabited the role of Dr. Hannibal Lecter? He manages to make the former psychologist and cannibal charming, magnetic, manipulative, and ultimately one of the scariest characters in cinema.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Number 6, Hereditary. In 2018, cinema goers were introduced to a new master of horror, filmmaker Ari Aster.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
An unrelentingly bleak and deeply disturbing film, Hereditary pushes the boundaries of the genre in ways that, quite frankly, we didn't know were possible. It immediately drew comparisons to such highly influential pictures as Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist. The film doesn't bother with jump scares. It instead shocks with genuinely unexpected and deeply disturbing imagery, from which it refuses to turn away. The tension and overwhelming sense of dread are so pervasive that some viewers may not last long enough to see the mystery unraveled, further bolstered by stellar performances all around. Hereditary isn't just a scary movie, it will shake you to your core.
Make it stop! Stop! Please stop! Make it stop!
Number 5, The Shining. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, The Shining is undeniably unconventional.
Come and play with us, Daddy.
It's a lonely, ambiguous, and thoroughly unsettling experience that, while arguably a tale of the supernatural, is fundamentally about one man's descent into madness.
The most terrible nightmare I ever had.
It's a significant departure from the source material written by Stephen King, but a study published in 2004 conducted by King's College London actually labeled it, quote, the perfect scary movie.
Give me the bat. Stop it! Give me the bat.
The Shining never fails to terrify, but the answer as to what exactly makes it so scary remains elusive. From set design to the imagery used, The Shining is artful in its approach to inducing fear.
Here's Johnny!
Number 4. Alien. Despite the science fiction elements of the story, there can be little debate that Alien is in fact also a horror film. Being stuck inside a claustrophobic environment you can't escape with a mindless creature that only wants to kill you is a creepy idea, to be sure. Heck, even just sitting down to enjoy a meal together in this movie becomes a complete nightmare. That chestburster scene is forever burned into all our memories. Ridley Scott's space adventure doesn't only grab you by the neck, but also never lets you go again. It inspired a worthy follow-up with Aliens, as well as a slew of lesser sequels and prequels. But the original remains the creepiest and most shocking. Number 3. Psycho. We know what you're thinking. How does this film crack the top 3 when relative to the horror movies released in the years since, it's so tame?
Oh, we have 12 vacancies. 12 cabins, 12 vacancies.
The thing is, while Psycho may start off slowly enough, the conclusion that it builds to is incredibly effective. Its ability to scare has been undermined by its own success. Most people already know the story. But show it to someone with no knowledge of the plot and their reaction will be genuine terror. And the initial lack of horror makes the sudden violence and twisted reveals all the more powerful. No one will argue against the fact that Psycho is one of the greatest horror films ever made, but it also remains one of the scariest. Number 2. The Exorcist.
You're gonna die up there.
Demonic children get us every time. The Exorcist introduces us to Reagan, a friendly 12-year-old girl who becomes possessed by a demon after playing with a Ouija board.
Captain Howdy, do you think my mom's pretty?
A terrific and refreshing concept for a horror film was taken to the next level by William Peter Blatty's exceptional screenplay and the amazing direction of William Friedkin. Unflinching and truly scary. This is what we'll always imagine an actual possession would actually look like. It forces us to picture how helpless we'd feel if ever this happened to a loved one. Add to that horrifying moments like when Pazuzu tells Father Damien Karras about his mother's fate in hell. This is as scary gets, and undoubtedly a horror classic.
With the Father and the Holy Spirit. Damien!
Number 1. The Blair Witch Project.
The woods around Halloween time is a creepy enough phenomenon. I don't want to go cheesy. I want to really avoid any cheese.
One of the most successful indie flicks ever, the Blair Witch Project's marketing campaign made it the most talked about movie in the US. The fact that the teasers and trailer whet audience appetites while giving away virtually nothing about the plot made the found footage flick's twists and turns all the more shocking. Its unknown stars allowed us to empathize completely, which made those surprises even more terrifying. To cap it all off, the simple yet horrifying closing seconds ensured that this film was one of the scariest of all time. Which horror movie do you find the most inventive? Let us know in the comments below. Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.